Fable is one of those games from my childhood that I like to revisit every few years. A simple British pronunciation of the phrase chicken chaser is enough to trigger PTSD-like flashbacks, memories I long thought suppressed.
Chicken chaser?
Well, let's go ahead and bury those back somewhere deep where therapy can't touch them and move on with the video. On a surface level, Fable may appear to be a simple fantasy game, which tells a conventional story in a fairly memorable and charming setting, yet that belies its true nature. You see, the original Fable is actually a thinly veiled allegory of the American War for Independence. The denizens of Albion being a stand-in for the inhabitants of Great Britain, and the bandits clearly representing the Yankee menace. The British instinctually fear their less civilized and rambunctious cousins on a primal level, and they are right to do so. For in their pursuit of freedom, they bring ruin to the established order, which provides just enough tea and footy to the average Englishman and ensures they do not attempt to resurrect the Angevin Empire. Yet again. It is within the interest of this established world order that the Heroes Guild operates. The guild is a shadowy cabal of powerful individuals who rid Albion of various menaces and threats. The heroes who compose it subsist entirely off of renown. Like the average clout chaser on social media, these heroes have questionable mental stability and tend to practice moral relativism. They are just as, if not more likely, to sacrifice you to a god that they don't even believe in, rather than save you, if it makes them even slightly more famous. I feel like I've lost the plot. Anyway, you start off the game as we all do in life. As a small child in a soon-to-be broken family.
Just like your mother.
After disparaging my mother, dear old dad informs me that it is my sister's birthday, and that my free ride has officially come to an end.
I'm not bailing you out this time, son.
Now that I'm 12, I am expected to earn my keep by becoming a neighborhood vigilante of sorts. With the promise of a gold coin for every good deed done, I embark upon my crusade of justice. Stop number 1 on the crusade of justice involves this man right here, and his soon-to-be broken family. You see, his indiscriminate hugging of women who are not his wife has finally caught up to him. Upon catching him in flagrante hugito, he offers me a bribe to stay quiet.
Just don't tell my wife.
I decline and immediately inform his wife, successfully giving their children 2 Christmases to celebrate. You should have offered me more than a single gold piece, you cheap fuck. While I had moral quandaries about this entire fiasco, they are quickly resolved once I am awarded good boy points by Lionhead Studios for snitching. I may not be the hero this city needs, but I am the one it deserves. The crusade temporarily grinds to a halt as this random child informs me that they have lost their stuffed bear. Ignoring their insolence, I unleash my righteous anger upon a nearby chicken before resuming my patrol. After watching some boxes, I proceed to box some watches. What the fuck? Box a bully and receive a teddy bear for my efforts. The teddy bear is handed off to that random girl from earlier, which brings my good boy points up to 4. I proceed to inform video game father about my 3 good deeds and that one morally dubious escapade resulting in some kids seeing their dad every other weekend, and he gives me 4 gold coins. Out of curiosity, I do some quick research and find that a single 1-ounce gold coin costs roughly 2,000 USD. I do not know what exactly my father does for a living, but I begin to suspect that my sister's birthday present is actually some sort of money laundering scheme, and if I want to live to see another day, I shouldn't ask any more questions. I head to the trader and spend approximately 6,000 USD on some chocolates. I then deliver said chocolates to Teresa, my sister. As we reminisce about the time I forgot her birthday, the good old days, she informs me that mom will be back soon and her party will be starting. What an idyllic and bandit-free life we lead. It sure would be a shame if plot were to happen. Moments later, plot happens. Oakvale is waylaid by bandits and reduced to a state of habitability only moderately greater than that of San Francisco. Video game dad has been slain. His life of crime was bound to catch up with him eventually. A strange man named Maze appears and offers me candy to get in his van. It appears that I've been bamboozled, as the van was actually an orphanage, and instead of candy, I was given depression. Fortunately, my luck turns around, as the orphanage is actually more of a child soldier training facility.
Your training starts tomorrow.
Wait. After years of training and indoctrination, I am given my final test. I confront Maze in the guild woods and proceed to barely complete the lukewarm IQ check that is the tutorial.
Hit me, if you can. Now, shoot me. Cast lightning at me. You have passed your final test.
Upon returning from my trial, the guild leader informs me that it is time to graduate, and we head to the ceremony. I entered the woods a child and returned a man, nay, a hero. Much like in real life, following graduation, I wandered aimlessly and unemployed, forsaking civilization and fishing for sustenance. After getting into some kerfuffles with the locals,
Use your head as an ornament.
I decided that my time abroad had come to an end. I returned to the guild to enact part 1 of my plan. The first step of the plan involves acquiring a new weapon. Now, my iron katana may have been folded over 1,000 times, but to accomplish what I have in mind, I'll need a slight upgrade. That is where the Sword of Aeons comes in, and through the power of, whatever the hell this is, we can obtain it. For the next part of the plan, we're going to need ungodly sums of money. To achieve this, we simply manipulate the market by inducing what I like to call a micro-panic. We can inflict this micro-panic upon the merchants of Bowerstone at an individual level, by buying up all of their stock of a good and then immediately selling it back to them. Much like an infant without object permanence, these merchants cannot conceptualize that the product out of eyesight still exists, and will thus pay exorbitant prices to repurchase it. After doing this handful of times, we now have an adequate nest egg to proceed on to step 3 of the plan. Like every good plan ever enacted, ours will require us to abandon such limiting concepts as morality and ethics. As Thucydides teaches us, the strong do what they will, and the weak suffer what they must. I bet you weren't expecting a reference to the Malayan dialogue in this video. Neither was I. Well, stay tuned for part 11, where I go into an in-depth analysis of the political and philosophical ramifications of the Peloponnesian War. Anyway, unless we want to suffer what we must, we'll have to become strong. The quickest way to do this involves breaking a few thousand eggs. The eggs in question here are the guards of the Heroes Guild and Bowerstone outskirts. Hostilities are quickly initiated, and after I failed to produce an official guard-slaying license, I am beset by wave after wave of bobbies. Homicide may be a forgivable offense in Albion, but neglect of appropriate bureaucratic procedure is not. For the 0.1% of you paying attention to the title, you may have noticed that we have regressed in terms of steps. This is not a mistake. Plan 2 cannot officially end until we are unable to physically hold any more gold. Enter the Fable selling exploit, which I have dubbed the switcheroo. The switcheroo involves the following. Step 1. Swap over to mouse and keyboard controls. Step 2. Select a high quantity item in one of the item menu subcategories. In this case, health potions. Step 3. With the sell menu still open, use your mouse to select another subcategory, such as gifts. Step 4. Choose a higher cost item, such as a wedding ring, and select Sell All for a tidy profit. Step 5. Buy back the now deflated wedding rings at a fraction of the value you sold them for, and repeat steps 1 through 4. Through just these steps, you will already have more gold than you'll need for the rest of the game. But we can scale this to absurd levels by using our current gold to mass purchase products and increase the total amount sold during each round of the switcheroo. After acquiring 9,999 apples, we are able to duplicate 9,999 wedding rings, sell them, and reach the gold cap after approximately 10 minutes. Through this switcheroo, we now have all the potions and gold we'll ever need. Now with the plan kind of pseudo-completed, we can move on to what have I become? In my pursuit of revenge, I have become no better than the Yankee bandits that razed Oakville. This cannot stand.
Your path is dark. Only a light will reveal it, and you are not bright enough.
The Oracle has spoken. I shall seek the path illuminated by light. My redemption arc begins now. In the great woods south of the Heroes Guild lies a cave ridden with monstrosities known as hobs. You see, in Fable lore, hobs are actually corrupted children, lured into dark places by promises of free Wi-Fi for their endless TikTok consumption. Straight up, no cap. What may not be immediately noticeable is that the slaying of hobs rewards good morality points. Thus, my path to redemption was revealed. I would continue to kill these malformed children. Now, you may be asking yourself, how does someone with literal demon horns protruding from their skull find moral redemption through the indiscriminate slaughter of younglings? To that, I say, excellent question. To draw upon a historical analogy, imagine if a resurrected Hitler. Through my attempts to sate Albion's unrelenting hatred of children, I have successfully turned over a new leaf. My ascension is nearly complete. I have become the light in the darkness. Righteous vengeance can now be pursued. I returned to the guild hall in search of further answers. What should I do now? Where do I go from here? Why did I only script out the intro to this video? When did my medication run out? Who is Thucydides? I am greeted with the guildmaster yelling at me to take the quest from the quest board, to shut him up and solidify my status as a paragon of virtue. I accept the quest. Upon making my way to the picnic area, I encounter would-be picnic havers fleeing the scene. Bees. Bees have infested the area and are attacking the nearby townfolk. After dispatching the drones, the Wasp Queen of the Wasps reveals herself. A long and arduous battle ensues, and I emerge the victor. Our journey has come full circle. We return to the Oracle for further guidance.
Your path is dark. Only a light will reveal it, and you are not bright enough. Your path is illuminated. Fancy that. You worked it out.
Oh, yeah. He meant that literally. Episode 2, coming Q3 of 2027.